Why is weak circumstantial evidence a problem for prosecutors? Imagine trying to solve a puzzle with missing pieces or blurry images. That's what weak circumstantial evidence feels like for prosecutors. It's all about clues that suggest someone might be guilty but don't directly prove it. Circumstantial evidence includes things like fingerprints near a crime scene, suspicious behavior, or digital footprints such as GPS data. When these clues line up well, they can strongly support a case. But if they are flimsy or few in number, it becomes a real challenge. Prosecutors need to prove every part of a crime beyond a reasonable doubt. That's the highest standard in court. Weak circumstantial evidence often falls short because it relies on assumptions or guesses. For example, being near a crime scene doesn't mean someone committed the crime. There could be innocent reasons for being there. If the evidence doesn't clearly exclude other possibilities, the jury might think, maybe it was someone else. That's where doubt starts to creep in. One big problem with weak circumstantial evidence is that it depends on logical inferences. If even one link in the chain of reasoning is shaky, the whole case can fall apart. For instance, if a person's phone shows they were in the area but doesn't prove they committed the crime, the defense can argue that they could have been there for a harmless reason. Without direct witnesses or clear forensic proof like DNA or fingerprints linking the person to the crime, the case becomes more fragile. Another issue is that weak evidence opens the door for the defense to suggest innocent explanations. They can say, maybe the suspect was just passing by, or the evidence was collected improperly. This creates reasonable doubt, which is enough to prevent a conviction. Prosecutors also have to prove all parts of the crime, like motive, opportunity, and intent. If their evidence is weak, they might not meet that burden. Defense lawyers can also exploit weak circumstantial evidence by pointing out inconsistencies or flaws in how the evidence was gathered. They might question forensic methods or suggest that the evidence was planted or mishandled. All of this makes it harder for prosecutors to convince the jury that the defendant is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. In court, prosecutors need to build a story that makes sense and is supported by strong, reliable evidence. When the evidence is weak, it's like trying to build a house on shaky ground. Judges might dismiss the case early, or juries might decide there's not enough proof to convict. That's why weak circumstantial evidence is such a problem. It simply doesn't provide the clear, convincing proof needed to secure a guilty verdict.